Okay, I'm recording now. Today is what? Today's May the 2nd, 2000,
Yeah.
2016. I'm with Edward Mease, who grew up in Bingen, graduated the high school class of Hellertown High School 1944. And so tell me where you grew up, about where in Bingen. Where you grew up in Bingen.
Weiss's store.
In Weiss's store?
Yeah.
In that building?
My mother was a daughter of Preston Weiss,
Okay.
and that's where we lived, in that place.
That was before it was the store, or it was the store while
It
you...
was the store while I was there.
And that was a general store.
It was a general store.
Okay. And next to that, to the left, was the Bingen Hotel, right?
Yeah, it was the Groover's Hotel.
Groover, right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well,
And which of those two institutions is older? The hotel or Weiss's store?
I really don't know.
Okay.
Because I know Weiss's store, the owner of that building, fought in the Civil War. His name was Clark, I think it was.
Okay.
I don't remember. I think it was Clark. And my grandfather, Preston Weiss, worked for him in the store.
Okay.
So
That's on your mother's side then, right?
that's on my mother's side.
Okay.
Yeah. So his name was Campbell.
Campbell.
Campbell. He lost his legs in the Civil War.
And where's he buried, do you know?
That I don't know.
Okay.
Oh yeah. New Jerusalem Cemetery.
New Jerusalem. Okay. Okay, that's
my,
what...
my grandfather's buried there too. My grandmother.
I'm thinking the Hellers are there too, from Hellertown. I'm thinking the Hellers are in there.
There's a big statue, monument that Mr. Campbell put there.
Okay.
And it sits in the center of the lot. One side is Weiss, the other side is Campbell. So it sits in the middle, Campbell, Weiss.
Nice. Okay. Were you around when the train station was there? Do you remember the train station?
I have these pictures.
Okay, so...
There used to, you go down, you know where Hayford's coal yard used to be.
And Bingen, no,
anyway.
my knowledge of Bingen is poor.
You know where the railroad tracks
Okay.
cross over. Right now it's a bike path.
Right.
You go underneath the bypass, underneath the bridge.
Okay.
On your right, there's a road. It's called Coal Yard Drive, I think it is.
Okay.
And Coal Yard Drive used to go all a half a mile down
Okay.
along the creek. There used to be picnic area in there.
Okay. Was there a name for that grove or something?
There was
No
a
name.
homemade picnic place.
Okay.
It used to be go swimming in the creek.
Okay.
People would go down there and have picnics. It was like in a meadow.
Okay.
But now the new owner closed it. You can't get down there.
Okay.
And Earhart the reason they went down there, you remember Earhart
The mill.
Mill? There used to be a race of water
Right.
going there.
Okay.
Well, there they built a dam and to feed the race.
Right.
And that's where we used to go swimming.
Okay. Behind the dam.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know where all these little
Yeah.
you know where all those little spots
You
are?
probably drove there and you know it.
Well, yeah. Because the
You
land.
you go underneath the bridge and you're going in towards Bingen Road.
Okay.
It's actually Bingen Road. But right along there.
Okay. So, yeah, I have these postcards, but I haven't the foggiest idea where these places would be. And that bridge, I guess, are any of these abutments still around in the river? Do you know? Any of the concrete abutments? Are they're gone?
They took them away.
Took them all away.
The
Okay.
new bridge is right in the same spot, practically the same spot.
Oh, so there's a bridge there now.
Yeah, but not as big. The
Okay.
span isn't as long. They filled in,
All right, but it's the same spot.
same spot.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, in that train station. How long have you had these postcards? Forever, or did you just get them recently? or-
Well, when we sold the store, I was executor of the estate. I found these postcards,
Okay.
a whole box. Must have been a couple hundred,
Of the same cards.
the same cards.
Right.
So I took a sample of each and sold the rest.
Okay.
And
And this was a long time ago, though.
oh, this is 40 years ago.
Okay. Before eBay. Okay.
That was 40 years ago. But I figured I'm going to take one of each for myself.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, because these postcards, well, now the market's pretty satisfied, but for a while, a postcard, especially this one, they go for $10, $15 on eBay.
You ready?
Yeah, yeah. Are there any other pictures in here of old things? Weiss store? Any pictures of the
No,
store?
I don't have. Really, I don't know much about Lysville.
Or Bing? I mean,
Bingen,
the
yes.
Weiss store. Do you have pictures of the Weiss store?
Yeah. It's one of them.
Okay. Oh
You
wow.
probably have that one.
No, I do not. I do not. I'd like to be able to copy this.
You can.
Yeah, this is that's a nice. What's the age of this picture about? Would you say? 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s?
Well, I'm 91 years old,
Okay.
and that picture is before me.
Oh. Okay.
I don't have anything else. These are all my family pictures, war pictures.
When you say family pictures, would those be family pictures in by the Weiss store then, or not?
No, I don't have any of those.
I mean, so the family pictures were when your family moved somewhere else, or
Yeah.
okay.
It's my family, but
Okay.
over there I don't have them.
So tell me now. So you were born into that house when your parents had you. That's where you grew
That's
up.
where I was born.
And you went to what school?
Bingen,
School. Okay.
Bingen School.
And you had a picture of that. One of your postcards was
Yeah.
the Bingen School. Okay. And so, what do you remember from your school days? Did you have to help stoke the stove or clap the
Well-
erasers, or? And how did you get
Myself.
there? Did you walk or did you bus
Huh?
buses or did you walk?
Walked.
Walked.
Every day. And we used to have a key. It's
A key?
a key to get in.
Every kid did, or just you?
No, two of us had a key. On the weekends, we take care of the fire.
So you got two. You had keys to get in at the weekend to keep the fire going.
His name was Richard Maury, and myself.
How do you spell it? M-A.
M-O-R-E-Y. Maury.
M-O-R-E-Y. Okay.
God bless him. He was killed in a war.
Korean War or
No,
World War
World
II?
War II.
Okay.
Uh,
So he didn't graduate. That he was in your class.
he was in our class too.
So
He graduated
well,
the
just
same
like
as I did.
But he
He
got
was
killed in the war.
he was killed in the Battle of the Bulge,
Okay.
which a lot of people around here were killed there.
Okay.
Well, anyway, we used to go take care of the fires. Now there was two rooms,
That's right.
two stoves.
And two classrooms, right?
Yeah, we took care of both stoves.
Okay.
Not that we got better grades, but we were the big boys.
Yeah.
See,
So you felt
in
uh,
the 8th grade there was 5 people.
oh, so yeah, went to what, taught all grades, kindergarten through 8th grade, or first?
There was 1st to 4th,
Okay, and the one
and then
side
5 to 8
in the other room.
in the other room.
Okay.
And then you went to Hellertown in ninth grade
Okay. And at that time, Hellertown High School was which one? That was the one on Main Street,
on Main Street.
right?
Yeah,
The small one
The
before they
small-
enlarged it.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
and we used to go by train.
Oh, by train to the
Yeah.
to high school from Bingen.
From Bingen, we'd ride the train to high school.
How many kids did that? Lots of kids, or just a few?
Well, there were maybe, well, see that train that went to Hellertown at that railroad station in Bingen.
Right.
Spring Valley, you'd come over, and they used to go to Bethlehem.
So they'd stay on the train longer.
They just stay on the train longer.
And were those weren't were those modern locomotives, or were those steam engines?
Steam engines.
Steam engines. Wow. Boy, it would be nice to have pictures of that.
Yeah, they were steam engines. Sometimes you were late.
You were late, or they were late.
The train was late.
The train was late.
I know, this was one beautiful day. The train was late. Oh, we got the bright idea of walking. We get halfway to Hellertown. The train passed. We went in. We wanted to know where we were. The train was late. Yeah, we know that. But you're much later than the train. She said the girls got here on. The girls didn't walk, only the boys.
Oh. So how'd the girls get there?
They stayed on the train, waited for the train.
Okay. All right.
Well, they did.
They believed
At
you.
that time,
They
our
believed you.
principal, I don't know if you ever knew the man, Mr. Illick.
Illick, yes. Okay.
He was a very nice guy.
And he believed you, right? He believed your story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he didn't do anything, he says. Oh, don't do it again, he says.
Okay. So when did the train station close up then for the final time? In the 50s, 60s? Do you remember?
Well, I'd say the early 50s.
Early 50s.
Yeah.
Because by that time school buses were prevalent.
School buses were running and there were trucks on the road. There wasn't many trains.
But that line was still active,
Yeah,
but not for,
not for passenger.
not for local passenger. I mean, they
No.
still had passenger service up until the 70s.
Yeah.
Wow. Let's see, where were we? Your school day. Anything else that's interesting about your childhood memories of school? Anything? You had to bring your own lunch? You had to get up at 5 o'clock and milk the cows first, like I did, or what?
I did. Yeah, my dad had a small. My grandfather had the store. My father worked at the Bethlehem Steel. And then we had a barn up in the back.
Behind the Weiss store.
Huh?
A barn behind the Weiss's store?
Yeah.
Is that gone?
That's gone.
Was
All
it
of that is gone.
was it a stone barn, or was it just
A frame
frame? Okay.
barn.
It burned down or fell down? Or?
No, I'd say it fell down. After I sold it, the guy didn't. It needed a repair when I had it,
Okay.
and we decided not to fix it.
So you had a milk. How many cows did you have?
We had 4 cows.
4 cows.
But my dad, what he did, he raised turkeys.
Okay.
He had a couple hundred
Back there next to the barn,
next to the barn.
in a turkey pen.
He had turkey pens in the barn and outside.
Okay.
At one time, before we had turkeys, he had 4 cows, 2 mules.
Okay.
Well, after the mules got old, this is while I was in the service. My dad bought a tractor, so it got rid of the mules. But anyway, he had turkeys. He used to buy them day-old turkeys from the hatchery.
And where? Quakertown or what? Farmers Market, maybe?
No, used to be a place in Bethel.
South
a
side,
hatchery.
south side Bethel.
Over near William Penn Highway. It was an egg place at one time.
Okay.
There used to be a hatchery there. And he would order them, and then they would breed them,
Okay.
incubate them for you.
Right. Okay. So, no pigs, no sheep,
No.
just turkeys and
Pigs
cows.
we had.
No pigs.
Chickens.
So that means you had a building for the pigs, a building for the turkeys, and a frame barn.
Anyway,
So pigs, turkeys, and cows. Okay.
we had pigs, cows, chickens.
And chickens, of course.
That's what we had.
Dogs and cats, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, the extra milk, now we used to have extra milk.
Because all four cows
We
were
had 4 cows.
milk. All four.
I milked, before I went to school, I milked 4 cows.
Okay.
Then you went down and you washed, had breakfast. Then you went to school.
Yeah. So your day started at
About 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. Okay.
Well, my dad used to save, he had 50-gallon drums in the barn. And what milk we didn't use, he'd pour in these drums. And it gets sour. And he'd feed that sour milk to the turkeys.
Okay.
Everybody wanted Thanksgiving and Christmas, they wanted his turkeys because they were so tender. They were sour milk fed. When you'd come into the turkey pen with a bucket of this, they'd swallow all over you to get their milk.
Uh-huh. How about that? Just the milk was mixed with the feed, or they just like the milk?
They just liked the milk.
They would just sip it. They would.
It was like sour cream,
Yeah.
hard,
Firm.
firm.
Yeah. How about that?
They used to feed them.
And what'd you feed the pigs?
We're going to feed the pigs the whey.
Okay.
They used to give whey from the milk, and that would be on top. My dad was a genius.
Well, because I have memories of us going to the Hellertown bakery and buying big brown sacks of 2-day-old bread. And we'd take it out to the farm to feed the pigs. But first, we went through it and got the good donuts out.
Oh, yeah. Well, he used to take the whey and mix it in with some kind of
Cornmeal or something.
cornmeal.
Well, did you go to Earhart's Mill? Did you go to Earhart's Mill and get?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We used to do that, yeah.
For the chicken
And then we
feed.
mix it the whey in that and make pig slop, we used to call it.
Yeah.
And we feed the pigs with that.
Okay.
We didn't let anything, they didn't let anything go to waste.
Well, they say a Pennsylvania Dutch saying they use everything but the squeal. They use every pig's feet, pig's nose, everything goes into hot dogs. And,
Yeah. Yes.
and did you butcher? Did you butcher on the farm at all?
No.
No butchering.
My dad's brother was a butcher.
Local? He was local?
Yeah. He lived in Wassergasse.
Okay.
And the time to butcher, he'd come down and pick them up and take them to his shop.
Where in Wassergasse was he? Do you remember? Do you know?
His name was George Mease. You know where
Take me from Bergstresser's. Where would you go from Bergstresser's?
you get that Bergstresser store, you turned right, and it was the first farm
Well,
on the right.
and which direction are we coming up to Bergstresser's?
You're coming up
From the golf course?
from Hellertown, the golf course.
The golf course. Come up. Okay, so Bergstresser's is on your right.
Yeah,
And you turned
right.
right and went to Ironville or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was the first farm on the right.
Okay.
It used to be
That was your dad's brother.
That was my dad's brother.
Okay. And you had cousins there too?
Oh, I have cousins in Hellertown. Yeah. I've got a lot of cousins. I have some I don't even know.
Okay. We need to get someone to do we have to work on Jane to do the family tree.
Yeah.
Okay, so high school you went by train, all right. At the end of the day, you took train back home again?
Took the train back home.
Okay. Well, I wonder how often the trains ran back then.
Well, I don't know if
Every
it was
half
so-
hour, every hour?
No. Morning.
Just
I
to,
think this local train ran in the morning.
just to do the school stuff.
More than I think that train was a school train because it probably came through Quakertown, and people were going to school in Quakertown by train.
Okay.
So I think it was a local run.
So how much time did you ever get to spend in Hellertown much, or were you pretty much, because of transportation and maybe you couldn't afford a car, you were pretty much in Bingen, or did you guys used to go into Hellertown for fun to do anything?
On special occasions, we had bicycles.
Okay,
We'd go by bicycle.
to Hellertown. So you rode the trolleys a lot out of Hellertown, I'm sure.
Trolleys, I think I rode the trolley one time.
Wow. But they were
They were there.
Yeah, they were there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I wanted to ask you, see if you remember, supposedly, and this might be even before your time, I understand there was a trolley spur that left Main Street and went out to Lost Cave. There used to be a short, it didn't last long, but there was a little spur for a while that gave trolley service to the Lost Cave. Nothing, do you remember?
I don't remember
Remember that,
that.
okay.
No.
All right.
The only one I remember, it stopped
At
at
Walnut
the
Street.
cemetery.
At the Walnut, yep, yep. Okay. All right. Now, when you were growing up, was the skating rink in business?
Oh, yes.
It was. Did
Yeah,
you go
we used
there at all?
Oh, we used to skate there a couple nights a week.
Okay. And you have no pictures of that by chance, do you? I'm still looking for a picture of the skating rink when it was the skating rink,
Yeah.
not now.
No,
No, okay.
I don't have anything like that.
I wonder if any of your friends do that you went with, for those who might still be alive, if there's any pictures that they may have of a group shot or a birthday party that you had there or
I gotta
anything.
tell you, I'm the only one.
One left, okay. Okay.
Out of all the boys, there was about 10, 12 of us. That's me.
Okay.
I'm left. The rest are gone.
All right. Now, the skating rink was built you remember the skating rink being built, because it wasn't,
I remember that place being built.
okay.
That was built by.
Yeah, it'll come to you later. I think I know the name too, but it's not coming to me either. So if you think too hard, you
He had an automobile garage across the street.
oh,
where
okay. Yeah, I know what you mean.
that their
It's still
body shop is
right,
now.
right, yeah.
Hmm.
It'll come to you later.
It
And-
might come to me.
And when you say your dad bought a tractor, I remember going to the International Harvester dealer that used to be across the street from the skating rink. Remember there was an
Yeah.
international deal. Is that where your dad bought his tractor, do you think?
No.
No? Because it was so convenient. It was right there on Main Street. You remember the dealership, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember that. See, I was in the service. I
Okay.
don't know where he got it.
Oh, okay, because he got that while you were in the service. Okay.
I think he got it in Dublin.
Okay. What kind of a tractor was it? Do you remember? Was it an international or was it a
It
Deere
was
or a
Alice Chalmers.
Alice Chalmers? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see what else is in Hellertown, or what else was in Hellertown that isn't any longer. The tractor dealer's long gone.
Studebaker Garage.
Which one was that? Who was that? Where was that?
Right across from the high school. There's a.
Oh, straight across. Where Henke's Pierogies used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. Studebaker. How long was that in business? Do you remember the
Well, my
parameter?
dad bought a couple of cars there. They could have been there for 20, 30 years.
A couple of Studebakers, huh? So you
Yeah.
were a Studebaker family.
He was a Studebaker.
Okay. And then there was down from the high school, coming down the street toward the center of town, there was a Ford dealership there,
Yeah.
I think, right? Across from the Legion.
Yeah. What was the name?
Because I have a picture of it when there's a Ford shingle hanging out front.
There was a Ford garage there.
And then what? Later the Ford dealership moved from there out to the end of town, closer to Lightsville.
Right.
Was it the same guy, the same dealership? Or a different
That I don't know.
Yeah, okay. And then there was Gutschall Chevrolet down, yeah, right.
Yeah.
In that old building.
Where Supreme Auto is now.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the A&P, you must have shopped at the A&P a lot in the center of town. Yeah, where did your family do their? Oh, they didn't. You were a general store. You probably didn't have to
Where
do.
did you go?
You didn't have to go
I
shopping.
never went to the store.
Okay. All right. And the swimming pool. Let's see.
It's Hiawatha.
Oh, Hiawatha pool. Okay. All right.
They wouldn't let us in there.
Because you weren't from Hellertown, or what?
No, we were too rough.
Oh.
We'd climb up on everything and dive off.
Okay.
The manager, see it's coming. I told you boys, if you behave, you can swim, but no climbing up. Oh, that spoils everything. Down in the creek, we used to climb up trees.
Trees. Okay.
And we'd get a rope, we'd swing out.
Okay.
We didn't have that. That was boring.
Yeah. Okay. Patterson Stables. Did you do any?
I remember that.
Did you ride any horses there? No. No. Okay.
Oh.
And the movie theater. Now, the movie theater was built in around 38, 39, I
I
think.
remember that.
Let's see. And you said you graduated in 44, so you probably went to the movies then.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes.
And now, and you heard about Crossroads Hotel? They're closing Crossroads Hotel.
They're closing?
The Maidies are going to retire. It will probably stay open as under new ownership, but they don't know
okay.
that. They don't know that now.
Okay. Now, I don't know if you ever heard of this. After, when the war started, I was 17 years old. They had a lookout post. Did you ever hear of that?
I'm sure I don't know what you're about to tell me, so go ahead and continue.
Constitution Avenue in Hellertown.
Okay?
Used to be a lane, a wagon trail. And up at the end of the ball field, they put a
tower?
shack
A shack?
with the telephones in.
Multiple telephones?
Yeah. And they get volunteers to watch. And you'd call a certain number when you'd hear an airplane going over.
Okay.
So I was one of the volunteers. I used to go up maybe from 9 to 10 or 11.
This is when you were 17, 18 years old, or
That's before I went into service. I was 7.
before you went into, so you did this before you went into the service?
Before I went
Okay.
into service. That time I had my driver's license then already.
Okay. And driving a Studebaker?
I was driving a student.
Your dad's Studebaker.
So and then we go up there and report airplanes.
I have a deck of cards that was from that time, and they gave you all each playing card was a different airplane, so that you got to
That's right.
familiar with the different
Yeah.
airplanes. Yep. Okay. Was there any radio outpost at all? Civil defense? Any?
No.
Because there was a civil defense
There was civil defense, but that was
later,
more
toward the late 50s, maybe. Yeah.
adults, I would say.
Okay.
These are mostly teenagers up there.
Oh, really? The teenagers are the ones who were in the. Okay. Wow.
Actually, it was fun.
Yeah, I guess I never would have thought that teenagers would have been interested in doing something
Yeah.
like that. Okay. All right, so let's see. Now we've got what else is not around yet in Hellertown? You never went
Yeah.
shopping at the AMP or the Acme in Hellertown because you had your own store. uh, and the mill, of course, you were here when the mill burned down. You were
Yeah.
you were a customer of the mill when it was being used. Um, the train station in Hellertown. That's where you got off for the high school, at the train station,
At the
right?
train station.
And now at that time, I have pictures that show fenced off areas for cattle around the train station.
Oh yeah,
Right.
that was there.
Because people would,
They had a sidetrack there,
siding,
a siding
and then animals would be delivered by train or picked
Yeah.
up by the train for sale.
picked
or-
up.
Yeah.
Well, that was a. Well, they had a siding in Bingen too. Coal yard,
Oh, okay.
Hafer's coal yard.
They had a siding of their own.
Yeah.
So that's not in that picture then. That's somewhere else. That siding is not in view of the station.
If you see this picture, where is it?
the
here?
train
Oh,
station?
there. Never seen a picture.
Oh, the train station? Where was the siding from the train station?
Now, this is the train station. Now the siding, there was two sidings. There was one here and the one up here. Oh, well, you know where the Groover House is?
Well, the hotel.
Yeah, you come up and you go around and go there. Well, right on the other side there was a siding that went up the hill to the coal yard,
Okay.
and it was built. They pushed the car over a bin. They'd opened it up and it would unload itself
Okay.
down in there. And down here on the other side was another siding that Earhart used to use. They would get feed, flour, and stuff. They would push box cars in there, and Earhart's would unload it, take
Okay.
it to the mill.
Okay.
That probably you go. And there used to be a water tower. It's not on here.
Well, let's see. No,
I don't have a picture
it's not, but-
of it.
So, but
The
it was.
water tower would have been, okay, this is the front. The water tower would have been about 500 feet
Down the track?
down the track.
Okay. Down this way.
The trains would stop
Okay.
and fill up with water.
Okay.
Now, where they got the water to put into that tank,
Or how
that
they,
I don't
yeah, or
know.
how they pumped it up
They
there.
probably pumped it out of the Salton
The
Creek.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right.
But you could hear the train filling up with water. You could see the steam coming
So,
up.
yeah. Okay. So now, what are your memories of high school? Anything? Let's see. You were out of the school before they enlarged it. That was in '58. So you were long gone out of high school
I
before
was
they
out of
enlarged it.
there,
Yeah. Did you play sports at all in high school?
No.
No sports. Okay.
No.
Your sports were cows, turkeys.
Oh, actually, we didn't have time.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Yeah, I did had to find. They had practice after school. I had to get home.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Understood. So then when you graduated high school, well, you went into the war even before you didn't even
and
attend your own
I only
graduation.
went to school 6 weeks in my senior year.
Oh, wow. So you were still in the September, October
Yeah.
time frame. Okay. And you didn't finish the rest of the year, but they still gave you a diploma.
They said we learned more in the service.
How about that? How
That's
about
what the
that?
school board said.
Yeah, how about that?
So when we came back, they gave us our diploma.
How about that? And that probably was common for all the schools, I would
Yeah.
think, right?
At that time, when you turned 18, you were gone.
Yeah.
They couldn't wait till you were 18.
So then, after the service, what did you do then after the service?
Well, I worked for Lehigh Valley Dairy.
Okay.
I was a processing operator.
Oh, this is up on 7th Street in Allentown?
7th Street in
Yeah,
Allentown,
okay.
yeah. 41 years.
Okay, Lehigh Valley Dairy, okay. And were you there when that facility's gone now, it's closed.
Yeah.
And what was the demise of that? Why? There's still milk, there's still cooperative, there's still dairymen
There's no farmers in the area. They're all come from, they have to, too far to haul it
Okay,
from Lancaster County to Allentown was costing too much.
so where's the closest equivalent to what you worked at in 7th Street? Where is the closest one like it?
Lansdale.
Lansdale,
That's still Lehigh Valley though.
okay.
They built a new building down there.
And the milk we're drinking's coming out of there, you think, or what?
The milk you're drinking's coming from Lancaster.
Is it?
Yeah. But around here, you don't have anything,
Yeah.
any farms.
And were you there when you retired and it was still going on after
It
you?
was still running when I retired.
Was it on its last leg,
It
or?
was on its last leg.
Okay,
I saw the light.
okay,
I said, I'm getting out. I took my pension.
okay. And that pension is still solvent today?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
Oh, yeah. Now, you say something about Lightsville. Do you ever have anything in the families around here raising tomatoes?
No, I don't, so go ahead. What can you tell me?
Oh, my was called the Dew Farm.
The Dew,
Yeah, up
D-U-H.
here, all those new homes. Stephen Dew Farm.
okay?
My wife was a Dew.
A Dew, right. She went to
And-
Hellertown High Schools too? Or
She went 1 year,
Because she's from where originally? Where is she from, your wife?
Lightsville.
Okay,
She lived up on the farm. They had 11 children. Some of the older boys worked at the steel and on the farm. They used to raise Campbell's for Campbell's Soup Company
just like Pitchell,
and Pitchell.
just like Pitchell.
Sailors in
Okay,
Springtown.
okay.
And there were some more, but I don't know. Oh, there was another one down here.
Were the Bechtels around back then?
No,
No.
Bechtold wasn't here then. Oh, I can't think of his name.
So did all of these farmers that raised tomatoes, I know, I grew up, do you know where I grew up? In the other end of Lower Saucon? I grew up out, not Wassergasse, but on the way to Glendon, the back way to Glendon.
Okay,
And there's a golf course out there. Well, it was a golf course. It's not a golf course anymore.
that
The
closed
township
up,
one.
didn't it?
Right. I grew up across the street from there.
Oh, okay.
But I have pictures taken from our house across the street when that was all Pitchell tomatoes.
At Pitchell.
Right, Pitchell.
Yep.
And they used to get migrant workers in
Yes.
to help pick the tomatoes.
pick the
Did these
tomatoes.
farmers do the same thing? Did they get migrant help in? or-
They formed an organization. These farmers. Okay, I don't have any to pick. Send them over here.
What, their own sons and daughters or migrant workers?
Migrant.
So they use migrant workers too?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
They were contracted through something. They went from farm to farm. One day they might have been at Pitchell's. The next day they could be here,
Okay.
up here. Then the next day they could have been down there at Sailors. But they housed them up here. There used to be an empty house above the Dews. And
Okay.
it was an old stone home. And they housed them in there. They used to take them to the store and buy the groceries and what they needed to live. But they never got paid. They paid the association. The association had a record of how much they picked. The farmer kept a record.
Okay.
Then that money was shipped back to the family. All they got was a percentage to live on. And these people, we got to know them good, but we want to go back to do. We want to go back to do. Because they treated them good.
Okay.
After the season was over, tomato season was over, Grandma and Grandpa would make a party for them. Make a meal. And have a little party for them.
So you saw every year you saw the same families?
Pretty near the same people.
Yeah. Okay. And so when did all these go out of tomato? When did that stop? When did the tomato business go down? When and why? Why did it go downhill?
Well, I really don't know exactly what happened.
It sounds
but
like it
I
might be a,
think Camels was closing some of their plant,
okay.
and they weren't getting the price that they should. We took it. I went along with my brother-in-law one time down to Camels. We used to haul them down there. We had a load of tomatoes that were beautiful. We got down there, there's maybe 20, 30 trucks ahead of us. While you're sitting there in the yard, hot sun.
By the
But
time
when
you
we got there, the unloader was mush. They rejected them. They wouldn't take them. So, we bring them home. My one brother-in-law who was in charge, got on the phone. We didn't unload them. We took them down to some Italian place in right near Gilbertsville. Balaam, he had a pizza sauce place. We didn't get as much for the tomatoes, but they weren't lost.
okay. You had to do that pretty quickly. You had
Yeah,
to,
that had to be done now,
yeah.
not tomorrow.
Right, okay.
Yeah, bring them down.
Yeah.
You could follow them all the way down the juice.
Wow. That's a shame. I'm wondering if the demise of that farming was parallel to the demise of the dairy farming that made Lehigh Valley Dairy. Did they all did they all go down at the same time?
Same time.
It's probably because farming it wasn't a way of life for people
No.
anymore.
Not around here.
Yeah.
Not around here.
Yeah.
You get up 5 o'clock in the morning, you go milk.
Yeah.
Now they get up at 5 o'clock to go where?
Now tell me more about your wife then. So she went to she grew up in Lightsville, but then, so her schooling was what? Where did she go to schools for elementary and high school?
Up here is Lightsville. There's schools up there.
That all the way through high school?
Huh?
All the way through high school too?
No. There's from 4 to 8.
4 to 8, right? And then, but you said she only went to Hellertown for 1 year.
1 year.
What happened to the other 3?
She
Didn't finish.
didn't finish.
Oh, okay.
Actually, she didn't have a way in.
Okay.
You had to find your own way to go to high school.
And she didn't do the train thing like you did?
No, well,
Well, you were
she's here.
Yeah, you were. That's right. That's right. That's a.
The train was easy
yeah,
for
yeah,
us.
Yeah, for you. You were on the train line. You practically were the station.
Yes.
I wonder how much business Weiss store got because it was so close to the railroad station. Yeah, I have some pictures I could show you that would probably bring back more memories. Unfortunately, they're on here, and I can't be filming and
That's
showing you
right.
pictures at the same time. But
Right.
when we're done here, I have a lot of pictures I can show you of that you'll like to see. Yeah.
So,
So you worked at Lehigh Valley then for 40, what'd you say, 42 years?
41.
41 years? And retired, and
Yeah.
you've lived happily ever after then, right? Pretty
What's
much.
that?
You've lived happily ever after then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I came, and I says to the wife one time, I says, how did I ever get time to go to work?
Yeah. So you lived here, when did you buy this house then?
Bought this place in 1952.
52. So that's about when Jane was born.
Well, Jane was 1 year old when we bought this house.
All right. So then she lived for what? 1 year in a Weiss store, or where were you? Where did you
She
live?
went 1 year to school in Lightsville. And then the rest is Lower Saucon
Uh huh.
and then the Hellertown
But when she was born, where were you living when she was born?
on the farm.
At Weiss store then.
On the parents' farm. See, we lived there, the wife and I, on the farm
Okay.
for 3 years before we bought the house.
Oh, on your wife's father's farm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right. So then you moved out of Weiss's right after the.
The reason we did that,
To save money.
this is, I don't know if anything ever. She had a sister. Her name was Helen. She was a couple of years older. But both of us were dating. They were dating, you know. So Grandpa, we were going to get married. Okay? Let's have a double wedding. We'll have a big wedding, he says. 2 at one time. And that's what he did. We had a double wedding.
Okay.
So the older sister moved out and went with her husband where he was a construction worker.
Okay.
And I moved in.
Okay. Are they still here or they're gone?
Huh?
Are they still alive or
No.
that? No. Okay.
That whole family's gone now.
Okay.
My wife was the last one.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, I think we pretty much, unless you can think of any other memories you want to share about something else, like the old high school. Let's see. You remember the first high school in Hellertown where Brown and Borheck was?
Yes.
Now that was working, but you didn't go there.
No.
But you, growing up, that was the high school while you were growing up? Or,
No.
No? That was, oh yeah,
That was before us.
okay.
The only one I can remember is the one on High Street.
Which was the Lower Saucon High School, right? At one time, the one on High Street
It was a grade school, I remember.
but it was a high school before that, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. My uncle went there. And he was
And what was his name?
Charles Weiss. He had the sword.
Okay. He went
He
there.
went there.
And then I know the other Lower Saucon High School was right on Main Street, the Zawick building. That was a school. That was a high
Yeah.
school, too. Now my history is getting jumbled up in my mind. Which one was the high school first? Because they were both high schools of Lower Saucon, I think.
I don't remember.
And then at one time, then Hellertown must have purchased that area became part of Hellertown rather than Lower
Yeah.
Saucon. So somewhere along the line, the politicians got together and changed the boundaries.
Yeah.
You don't remember anything
I
about that?
don't
Okay.
remember that.
Okay.
No. That's before my.
Okay. And definitely it's before my time for sure. All right, well,
What?
I think I'm going to end the recording here. That was a pretty nice, I learned a lot.
Let's see. There's something else. I wonder. Oh. We lived in Bingen. The big thing was a Sunday afternoon,
Okay.
the ball game. Do you ever have anything on that?
No, but I'm sure a lot of people would be interested in that part.
You know where Spring Valley Sportsman's Club is?
Spring Valley Sportsman Club.
Yeah.
No, that I don't know.
Well, that used to be called Bingen Baseball Field.
Okay.
So they had a league, different communities had ball team, baseball.
Lightsville, Bingen.
No, it was Bingen, Springville, Bingen, Springtown, Freemansburg, Miller Heights,
Oh.
Pembroke,
Hellertown.
Hellertown. They had this league.
Steel
Well,
City.
Huh?
Steel City.
Yeah.
Steel City too. Freemansburg and Steel City.
No, I don't remember Steel City.
Okay.
I think that was in with Freemansburg.
All right.
Well, when they played at Bingen, oh man, there was traffic galore.
Okay.
And they used to, I'd say some Sundays they'd have at least 250 people there.
Is that field still there?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
but it's not a baseball field. And it's a baseball field, but they don't use it. It's just a community like a park.
Okay.
Well, Weiss's store, they had a building there. And they made hot dogs
At the ballpark, you
at
mean?
the ballpark.
Okay.
Hot dogs, rolls, and Charlie'd send them the hot dogs and the rolls. He'd keep them in the freezer until Sunday morning. I would take them over to the ballpark. And then and that was the big thing on a Sunday afternoon.
When people didn't have much else to do or much else where to go.
No.
Yeah.
That was a big thing.
Yeah.
It was the ballpark.
And how about church socials and things? Church was probably a big part of everyone's life too, no?
Yeah, it was, but they didn't have socials like they do today.
Okay.
No. The funny part of it was, I belonged to the church down here in New Jerusalem. The wife belonged to New Jerusalem. When we were kids, we went to Sunday school. You went in, the boys went in, you sat on this side of the church. Girls went in, you sat on this side of the church. You don't think we would get together after church? The boys would run home. If it was hot, we'd grab our swimming suit, jump on our bike, and go for a swim. The girls, I don't know where they went.
Okay. So, I know a lot of your family and your wife's family are gone. Are there any, like when you go to your class reunion, or if you're aware of who in your class is still around yet? Are you in touch with anybody through the class reunion committee or anything?
I haven't seen anybody from my class for a couple of years. I'd say about 5 years. I saw one 2 years ago. He passed away. He was a good buddy of mine.
Who was that?
Hollowell, Martin Hollowell. He used to live in Bingen. He passed away.
There was Hollowell kids when I went to school too. I wonder if that's related. Probably.
Probably his grandchildren.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I saw his sister just passed away too.
Did you ever go to any class reunions at all? To your class reunion? Were you one to attend your class reunions, or you didn't bother? You didn't go. Okay.
No.
Your wife's picture would not be in any yearbook because she didn't graduate.
She didn't graduate.
So she wouldn't be in any yearbook
No.
then. Okay. But if she would have graduated, it would have been what year? The class of what? Had she gone
44,
same year?
same year.
Okay. Okay. Now, did you folks ever go to Dorney Park or Central Park when you were kids much?
There used to be a park over in, the one over in
Or
Willow Park.
Willow Park, yeah.
Yeah, we used to take the kids there.
Willow Park, okay.
Yeah. That was closed. That's closed up too.
Yep. I'm looking to see if anybody remembers a spot that I remember. I never went there. Passed it a lot, but I never went there. It was on the way from Koonsman's Corner. Do you know where Koonsman's Corner is?
Yeah.
Up to Bergstrasse. You left Koonsman's Corner, you went up over the hill, and about 200 or
Lake.
300 yards was a place called My Ann's Grove. My Ann's Grove. It was after where Marlin Lake. Remember they put Marlin Lake in? It was beyond that. And it was just a little spot with an in-ground pool. It was like what you were describing in Bingen, where it was like a meadow where you...
Yeah.
It was kind of like that. It was
Yeah.
small, cozy, family-oriented. It wasn't a big place. It was called, and it had a sign, a Coca-Cola sign right on the road. My Ann's Grove. Do you remember that?
No.
No. Okay.
I remember Marlin Lake.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
We used to go down to Marlin, take the kids on a Sunday afternoon, pack us lunch, and we go down to Marlin.
Marlin Lake.
Yeah.
And I grew up less a mile from there, and I was there one time.
Oh,
I can't believe it. I can't believe it that I never went there more often for how big of a place.
that's not open either anymore.
No, no. Private property, and you drive down and it says do not enter. The new owners don't want anybody in there yet. Okay. So the only schools you attended then were in Bingen. You never went to any of the other schools around the Lower Saucon area. You were all in Bingen schools when you went to school. Okay. And Jane, for 1 year, went to the Lightsville School,
Whitesville School.
and then the rest to Lower
To
Saucon,
Lower Saucon.
and then to the high school.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll call it a wrap.
Oh, it was nice talking to you.
Well, I'm going to show you
You
some
get it ready, and we deliver it to the house.
Okay.
Well, that's one thing I used to hate. We go to Earhart's. Okay, you take the groceries. I used to, Grandpapa and I, we take the groceries in the house. Then we have to go down to the mill to straighten up. We give groceries, they give eggs. You know?
Barter
and we
system.
went down there. This took an hour and a half to straighten out. They walked into the office there, smoke. It was cloudy
Oh, smoking. People smoking.
and chewing tobacco.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, they were hard to sit there. He hit that spit. I said, "Come on, Grandpa, let's go." No, they had a convention. Somebody else had come in. It'd start all over again.
So was it like a neighborhood meeting place? People would go
Yeah.
and bat the bull? Okay. That's how Bergstrassers was when I was a kid. You'd walk into Bergstrassers and all the farmers would be sitting along the aisle
Yeah.
batting the bull about
Oh yeah.
everything. From the price of crops to the weather to... I remember that. Because we weren't far from Bergstrassers. And they would deliver feed to our house.
Yeah.
And they had a panel truck for deliveries. They would
Yeah.
do home deliveries too.
Yeah.
So did White Store do home deliveries then?
Yeah.
Did you have a panel truck or
We had an old panel truck.
did
yeah.
you? You did. Did it have White Store on the side of it?
No.
No.
Just an old black panel truck.
And you drove that?
I drove it.
Okay.
Grandpa couldn't drive.
Okay. So how far did? Well, you didn't drive very far. You just serviced the local
Just
area.
the local area.
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Maybe 10, 12 homes.
And how much credit did you allow credit? Like they couldn't pay you. Okay, so you put it in a little book.
Oh yeah.
you'll pay me next week or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, a lot of that, right?
A lot of that.
Yeah, yeah. And you wonder, did anybody ever stiff you?
I think they did.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
I used to hear my grandpop say something, you know. But
How did you guys have ice back? Was that before modern refrigerators? How did you? Were
we
your
used to have the Iceman coming.
okay?
That was Ice and Heart. Ice.
Bethlehem? Is that out of Bethlehem or?
No, I don't know. There used to be an ice house.
But not around here. Around here?
My dad in the wintertime used to help cut blocks of ice and they'd store it. What's the name of that? Walheim Road. You know where that is?
No.
You know where the
Oh,
Walheim is?
Waldheim. Okay. Yes. Yes. Yes.
When you go up Walheim Road,
Okay.
and it winds around and goes up over the hill. There used to be 2 dams there. And in between the dams, there was a big house. There was nothing but ice, ice house. And they cut it in squares, and they could shoot it down there, and they'd stack it.
Okay.
And then used to have a truck. He'd go to the different places with ice.
Now this ice was built up during the winter and lasted into the year and through the summer. It stayed ice.
Ice.
That's hard to believe how it.
That was cold in there.
Because it was no refrigeration, no
No, they used to put,
straw.
I think it was straw or sawdust in between the blocks.
Yeah. I just can't get over that it didn't melt though. That's amazing.
Yeah, well, it could have melted some. But
Yeah, some, but that it lasted into the summer or all year into the next
All
winter. Yeah. I guess if you had a hard time getting ice, it would be like October. Because it would, by then it would be melted or gone.
Yeah, there used to be the ice house is gone and so's the dam.
Yeah.
Nobody took care of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't let us go ice skating on there.
Okay.
Contaminated the ice.